Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. So today we are gonna be making one of my favorite Thanksgiving dishes, okay? Now, I never knew how many people actually dislike turkey, okay? I'm a turkey lover. I love a nice, juicy turkey, but today we're gonna be making a Thanksgiving chicken, okay? So it's gonna have all the seasonings that you would typically use for a turkey. It pretty much has the same prep, but we use a chicken, okay? Now, this is also great for people who might not wanna make a 24-pound chicken. Maybe you don't like turkey. Maybe you have a much smaller family and you just want to make like a simple Thanksgiving dinner, then this right here is your perfect option, okay? It's still gonna have that nice golden brown color. We still do all the veggies, but we're also using nothing but low carb veggies. So this recipe is weight loss friendly, it's diabetic friendly, and everything is super, super clean. So everything we're gonna be using is great if you are on a weight loss journey, okay? Now, we're gonna get started with our butter compound. So we're gonna be using 2 sticks of butter for this. I might not use all of it. I just wanna have extra just in case. But if you don't wanna use butter because you wanna keep this like very, very low calorie, then you can substitute the butter and use some mustard. You can also do a little bit of Greek yogurt versus as much fat. For me, I feel like it just kind of drops into the veggies and it's just great for basting. So I do like to use the butter, but again, this is your chicken. So it's all about personal preference, okay? But let's go ahead, get started. Here we have our chicken. I love that it's already cleaned out, you know? Now, back in the day, there used to be a bunch of stuff in here and it was just like a whole thing. But now I feel like it is very, very easy. All I did was just take it out of the package. This is a very important part, okay? You wanna make sure that you grab a bunch of, you know, like napkins and dry up the skin. Why? If you don't make sure that it is completely dry, your butter is not gonna stick onto it. How do I know this? Because it happened to me last time I made it. And then I had to add a little bit of cornstarch and it was like a whole thing. We ended up making it work, which is fine. But just to save you the hassle, make sure that your skin is completely dry, okay? Oh my God, this one, look at this. You guys know I always have Element, like it helps me stay hydrated throughout the day, but their cans, they're like sparkling water. They have like a really nice fizz. This one is called citrus salt, so it's like really refreshing, but it still has the same electrolytes that the little packet does. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and then 60 milligrams of magnesium. So it has everything in one. And I feel like when I'm craving soda, I just go for these. I have a few cans. And so instead of having a soda, I'll just kind of opt for this because I know that I'm getting the electrolytes that I need. I'm also staying hydrated. And it's great not only for my electrolyte intake, but also for hormonal regulation. So whether you wanna try Element sparkling drinks or even their packets, you can actually get a free sample pack with any purchase. It's their 4 most popular flavors. You get 2 flavors of each. I'll leave a link in the description below, or you can just type in DRINKLMNT.com/low carb love. So either one of those will get you that free sample pack, okay? So I will go ahead and leave that linked for you. Now, chicken aside, and let's go ahead and get started on our compound. So butter, try to make it like room temp, just because it's easier, like it's easier to spread, but we're just gonna kind of get right into it, okay? So tossing your butter. So this is what we have. We have some thyme. We also have some rosemary. Now, how I did this, I don't know, but I forgot the parsley. But you need fresh parsley. Luckily, I have these parsley flakes, which does say light and fresh. So fresh. In my head, it's almost like a fresh parsley, but it's not, clearly. And you can also use, like if you want sage, I know that some people use sage. What else is used? Obviously onion powder, garlic powder. Some people even do lemon pepper. Like it really just depends. But what I'm doing is a very traditional Thanksgiving turkey flavor on our chicken, okay? And then of course our salt and pepper. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start off with our parsley. You want a good amount, trust me. We have our garlic powder. You can also do like minced garlic for this. Obviously, fresh garlic is always gonna taste amazing. I feel like if you have it, use it. Last time I used both. And then we have our rosemary. So what I'm gonna do with this, so good. Rosemary is just like so fresh. I just love. We also have our thyme. Okay, so I'm just gonna chop this up and add it right into our butter. Okay, so we're adding that in. This is all pure flavor. And then, of course, we have to add our salt. Salt, pepper, and then, of course, all of the seasonings I just added. So now, let's go ahead and give this a good mix. Okay, and at this point, you wanna make sure that your oven is preheated, okay? So I'm preheating mine to 400 degrees. It's pretty much there already. And as soon as we get this chicken ready, it's going right in. And one of the best ways to know, obviously, that your chicken is completely cooked through is to use a thermometer, and you just wanna make sure that it gets to 165 degrees. Like I'll show you along the way what I do if it starts getting a little too crispy or too brown, just too fast. But I just made this last week. I wanted to make sure that it was, you know, that it was perfect. And honestly, it was such a hit. So I was like, oh no, I have to make this for you guys, because I want you to make this. Like you need to make this at home. And the beauty of something like this is you don't have to make it for Thanksgiving. You can literally make it throughout the year, because Avi, just grab a little chicken, you do your little butter compound, toss it in with the veggies that you want to cook for dinner, and then you have your dinner ready like within an hour. Depends, like this will be ready within the hour because I'm gonna cook it on convection, and so it cooks a lot faster. It's almost about half the time, so you want to be careful with that. If you are cooking it on convection, make sure it does not burn, okay? And the best way to monitor that is with a thermometer, because I could say like, oh, it's X amount of minutes per pound, but I don't know why that for me just doesn't always work. So anyway, okay, so we have our butter. Basically, you're just gonna go through the top, right? And let me show you, I forgot to show you. What you wanna do is have these pockets, okay? So do you see that little pocket in there? You throw in some of this butter, because that is going to make the breast nice and juicy. I'm telling you, and it just adds so much flavor. You'd want to do this before, because now I'm gonna get my hands dirty. But basically, you just put it in there and then just spread it. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, because it happened to me last time. If it's too wet for whatever reason, your butter is just gonna kind of slip and slide on there. What you can do is add a little bit of cornstarch. The cornstarch will dry up the excess moisture, and then the butter will stick, okay? So in case you come across that, if not, then it should be going on just like this. All right, guys, I made a boo-boo. All right. How I forgot the fresh garlic, I do not know. In a recipe like this, it is so important. So the fact that I forgot is like it's literally taking me out. I did add this garlic powder. So thankfully we're gonna have some garlic, flavor all up in there, but I have to add some, okay? So we are going to, so what I'm gonna do is just kind of try to mix it in right there on top. I know this is not ideal. So don't forget to put the fresh garlic into your butter compound. Okay, so now that I went back, it looks like my turkey released a little bit of, just a little bit of moisture. So I'm just gonna tap a little bit of cornstarch, and it just literally dries it right up, and we'll be able to spread it. Guys, I don't know where my head was at. I completely forgot the orange zest. So we are doing a little bit of orange zest just on top. It does add, I feel like it definitely did add to the flavor, so I don't want to forget it. It's a little bit of lemon zest, a little bit of orange zest, and that is it. So now in the cavity, we are gonna go in with some onion, orange, and then you can do some herbs. So I have some rosemary and thyme. That's also gonna add to the flavor. So all I do is take a full head of garlic, cut off the top. We do a little bit of some olive oil or any type of oil that you have. And then this is also gonna go in there. And it basically just gives you like roasted garlic, like how delicious. And this is it. This is what it's gonna look like. And then if you have some type of, what is it called? Like, you need something to kind of tie the little legs together. String something. I actually just took some of this, it's like a cheesecloth. And so that's what I'm gonna use. So this is what I'm gonna be cooking my turkey in. Comes with this little guy inside so that the broth and the juices and everything go down at the bottom. And then it also makes it easy just to kind of pick up the chicken once it's done. We're gonna start off with, now to keep this low carb, you wanna keep this super, super low carb. Then you wanna go ahead and add in your chayote. This is gonna replace your potatoes. And it has a very, very neutral taste in case you've never tried it. Then we also have our carrots and celery. Okay, so you wanna just kind of spread this out. This is what it's gonna kind of look like. Okay, so these are the veggies that you would use just to keep it super low carb, okay? Not everyone is low carb here, so we are actually adding some potatoes, but you will not be adding that if you wanna keep everything super low carb. And then we have these onions, might as well just toss them in. And that's pretty much it. I am gonna see, I am going to season my veggies. I thought I was already done with these, just because we need some flavor, you know, and that's just me. But mostly, like, even if you just do salt and pepper, it's good enough because you're gonna get so much flavor from that chicken. If you have a bone broth, then do a bone broth. It roughly has about 10 grams of protein per cup. Okay, so that's what we're gonna use instead of water. And we're gonna do, just kind of give it a good layer at the bottom. And remember, we're also gonna baste, so you wanna have some liquids. But I feel like for this huge thing, we can use, what is this, 32 ounces? We can use 32 ounces of bone broth. Okay, transfer it onto our dish. So it's gonna look something like this. And there you have it. So this is how easy it is to make a Thanksgiving chicken. To be honest with you, making a Thanksgiving turkey is not that difficult if you know how to do it. And I think that's the trick, right, with anything. But the chicken, I feel like it just cooks so much quicker. You can get like a chicken that's much smaller. And this is something that you can make for dinner anytime throughout the year. So yes, it works perfectly. You know, this recipe just fits in really, really well for Thanksgiving, but you can literally make this for dinner. The prepping time, I would say all together is like 15 minutes. And then boom, toss it in the oven, cook it on convection. You have dinner in an hour. So you know what I mean? Like, this is definitely like one of those recipes that like your family's gonna love. And it's also great for meal prepping, but the best part of it all is that it's so easy, super nutritious and super, super easy, okay? So just make sure oven is preheated to 400 degrees. This is gonna go in there for about 1 hour, okay? And I'm gonna walk you through because we are gonna baste it, and also if it starts getting a little extra crispy, I'm gonna cover it. So I'll just kind of show you how I do that. All right, I just checked it. It is 165 officially, so let's go ahead and get this baby out. Woo, look at that. Ay, qué rico. All right, I'm gonna put this girl here. But look at that. Nice and golden crisp. And I guarantee that breast is nice and juicy. All right, guys, so I let her sit for a little. And now there is only one thing left to do. But do you see how juicy she is? Like, this right here is the breast, okay? Moist, okay? I'm telling you. Let's just dip this into the little broth. Oh my gosh. Híjole. Guys, what? I made this last week. This one is even more moist than the one from last week. And the one last week was so fire, but like, look at, I had to show her because, do you see that? Juicy, super, super moist. And that's what you're looking for, right? You need your turkey, you need your chicken to be juicy, because the last thing you want to do is have a chicken or a turkey that is dry. That's the worst. That's like, it's just a fail at that point. So in this case, you want to keep basting her every 20 minutes or so. Obviously, I will leave the full recipe in the description below, but do not hesitate to make this recipe because remember, this is not just good for the holidays. You could literally make this any day throughout the year. Like, who doesn't love a roasted chicken like this with the flavors of Thanksgiving? You can make it on a Sunday meal prep. You have protein for the entire week. If you have a big family, then obviously this is gonna feed your family. Pair this with mashed potatoes, a cauli mash if you wanna keep it low carb. You can do some Brussels sprouts. You can do, I mean, there are just so many side dishes that will go with this. But on top of that, you have all of your vegetables that you baked with your chicken. And it has all those flavors and oh my gosh, guys, I'm telling you, this is the recipe, okay? So the recipe is in the description below. Guys, if you like this video and this idea, you guys have to go show me some love. Go hit that like button. And don't forget to share this recipe with friends and family, especially if you know that they don't like turkey. Boom, there you go. Now they have a recipe that they can make for themselves, for the family, that they're gonna enjoy and that everybody is gonna enjoy with them. All right, guys, so there you have it. A traditional Thanksgiving chicken that is so easy to make. Anybody can make this, I promise you that. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I love you and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.